Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, source will be in front of us to take out the crossword as always, and also pull the 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling all this astrology ice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Aquarius. And for you guys, Aquarius is your 5th house of romance, creativity, children. Astrologically speaking, we have Pluto in there, currently retrograde. Alright, 2. So 2nd house energy for you guys is actually Scorpio. And 2nd house in general points to possession, self-worth, and finances. It's a little quiet there now, but right around the 22nd of September, pretty much right when the sun moves into your sign, Mars will actually move into Scorpio, so that could actually help add some fuel to that area of your life. And we have Neptune. So Neptune's actually currently retrograde in your opposite sign, which is a house of relationships and partnerships. That's Aries, by the way, for you. But yeah, so there could definitely be some confusion around that area of life for you guys as well, and maybe that could be cleared up. Alright, so we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Queen of Wands, Aries energy, and challenging that we have the 6 of Swords, Aquarius energy. So what I'm seeing with this could just be saying that for some of you, you might want to actually soften your energy a little bit and extend an offer to someone potentially, but the challenge is that you might not have fully released something from the past just yet, so that could be why there's a little bit of difficulty for you to get into that energy at this time. Right. In the foundation position, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, so this could just be saying you might have gone through a bit of a rough stretch recently. Maybe this is regarding a partnership of some kind as well. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could also be a financial partnership for that matter, given that we see the pentacles in the background especially, right? But yeah, looks like there could have been a rough stretch that you were going through in some form of a partnership or relationship. And maybe for some of you, it's just very service value. Maybe there was some financial hardship. That could have even led to you burning yourselves out and having some minor health issues too. Right. In the past position, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, so I feel like this is saying in the past you might have been a bit more willing to jump into situations, a bit more outspoken about what you wanted to see, what you wanted to do, right? So could have been a cycle that you guys have gone through in the past, whereas now it looks like you're just feeling a bit more reserved. All right. In the present position, we have the Emperor. So more Aries energy here. So yeah, this could just be saying that even though there's that part of you that does want to be open to something, right, to soften around the situation, looks like you still have your guard up around the situation. And again, this definitely points to partnerships of some kind. So again, could be romantic given that this is the 7th house energy for you, but with all the pentacle energy we're seeing here, this could also be more of a business type partnership as well, or investments of some kind. Right. In the near future position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, so it looks like ultimately you will come forward to make an offer to someone. Maybe it's an offer to partner up in some way, right? And, you know, maybe your reluctance to do so is maybe in the past if you partnered up with someone and it didn't go well, right? You're like, oh, is this really what I want to do again, right? Especially because it looks like we mentioned, you might not have fully released that situation just yet. So maybe that's where you've been a little bit hesitant to do so, but you still feel pulled to do this in this case either way. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, could just be saying that in some way you might just feel pulled to make this offer. So for some of you, it might not even make much logical sense to you, right? Especially if you might even know intellectually, like, well, I haven't let go this past disappointment around a partnership, right? So why do I feel so drawn to offer someone a new opportunity? So that could be what you guys are feeling now. All right. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy here as well. And it could just be saying that maybe the person that you're extending an offer to, they might be accustomed to being a bit more independent. So, maybe you see the potential in them, which is why you might want to extend that offer to them to begin with. But, it looks like they could just be wrapped up in their own thing. Doesn't necessarily mean that they would decline the offer, but I just feel like this is saying that they're more than comfortable doing things on their own. So, if you do make an offer, you just have to understand that it's going to have to be something that really moves them. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Ace of Wands. So again, like I said, it feels like there is really this part of you that does want to move forward, right? You want to take action. But again, like I said, it looks like there could have been a bit of a rough stretch that you've gone through, or at the very least, thoughts of that time is coming back to you to where it's making you hold back a little bit. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Five of Swords. So to me, this is an indicator that maybe it would be best to try to hold back from making this offer just yet, because like we said, if that Six of Swords is coming up as a challenge for you guys, it means that there is some disappointment from the past that you haven't fully let go of yet. And then, if you haven't really put that behind you truly, but you convince yourself you have, it could come back up to the surface in ugly ways from time to time, So for example, maybe you see, oh, I think someone's taking advantage of me, when that might not be the case, right? It's just that you have this previous wound from the past that you haven't really put behind you yet. So you're viewing things through a bit of a skewed lens. So, yeah, I mean, either way, it's just a minor arcana card, so it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. But I feel like this is saying that maybe it's an indicator for you that, yeah, you might be better to fully clear that past situation before you do move forward to something new. All right, bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. So yeah, it just looks like, timing-wise, it looks like it's right to come back up to the surface again. So, this could even be something as simple as maybe there was something that went off the rails during the Mercury retrograde, right? And maybe it truly was just a misunderstanding, right? So you could have communicated with that Knight of Wands energy in the past, felt like you're very open in communicating what your expectations were, right? What you wanted the situation to play out as, what type of partnership you were trying to enter into. But then, if it was as simple as a retrograde misunderstanding, right now you could be holding resentment if it didn't go the way that you felt like it should have. And now you're still harboring that resentment. So even if you come to this person again and try to get things back on track, right, but you're still harboring that resentment, it could lead to a blow up that, it just puts you right back at square one. So just something to watch out for there. All right, from the four agreements, we have don't make assumptions, and it says assume nothing. All right, it says in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. Yeah, interesting message there, right? Because maybe this is another indicator that, yeah, maybe there was just some miscommunication that might have taken place again. Would make sense given that we just came out of a Mercury retrograde, so maybe that's just something that's still lingering. And until it's addressed and cleared up, right, you might just find yourselves leading to another argument. All right, from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have mending. Here's the artwork, and the number is 52. See what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments, The Oracle's message. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, because that also did remind me of the fact that we're entering eclipse season in September as well. So really, at the time I'm recording this, we haven't had that first full moon in Virgo yet, which is your 12th house. But then there will be another new moon in Virgo, and that one will be an eclipse, and that'll be right before the sun comes into your sign. So two 12th house new moons could be a bit intense, and then especially one of them being an eclipse. And then, of course, there'll be a full moon eclipse in Pisces around the 7th as well. So yeah, definitely going to be some interesting energies there. And given that 6th house full moon eclipse could be centered around finances, given all the pentacles we see there as well, there's definitely some potential for you to clear up some misunderstandings, whether it be more romantic or more of a business type of situation. The relationship message says you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you are to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. So yeah, if this was maybe some situation around a romantic connection as well, hopefully that message resonated. And the prosperity message says everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone you may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are now that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from this perspective. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because maybe that could be what that Knight of Wands energy was pointing to in the past, right? Where maybe you did chase after something that seemed like it would be more appealing at the time, but then maybe the practicality of it was lacking, and now you are seeking something more practical in the future. And now it's just a matter of, making that transition. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. Happy early birthday, and I'll talk to you all next month. All right, bye.